Two things. One, I apologize for the air conditioning noise. Second, I apologize for me spinning in my chair that is called ADHD. It's too hot. I've been on YouTube for 5 years now, and I've been streaming for almost a year and a half, and somehow I still feel like a new content creator, and I'm guessing that's because I don't have a set schedule and I rarely upload. So it's kind of new ground to me. Still, even after all this time. I decided that I would ask my Discord community if they had any questions for content related things, and they came up with some good questions that I don't fully know the answer to. I've decided to enlist the help of my friends to answer these questions for me because I don't have all the answers. Talon asked, what would you recommend for beginners to start streaming? For your answer, I went to my friend Sheepy. Sheepy is very tech oriented, so I thought he'd be perfect for this question, honestly. He responded, my recommendations for people who are new to streaming is to understand the settings for OBS to ensure good audio and video quality. Use OBS Live instead of Streamlabs. Saw nothing. And to build their social media platforms as well as network with fellow streamers. And I don't mean network with streamers to use them, but to build genuine connections and make friends. It's also not necessary to stream all day and every day. You don't have to do 12-hour streams, 24-hour streams constantly to try to get where you want to be. Stream 3 to 5 hours and spend the other time networking, working on your stream overlay, and utilizing the other platforms to grow your audience. That's a great answer. If you have any tech questions, just go to Sheepy. Jason asked, what are some good tips and tricks to keep all your media organized? This answer comes from the lovely Bradley W. Nunn. No, I am not doxing him, he is doxing himself daily. Bradley has edited for Slazo and MK and I believe Crisscross as well, so he's well versed in the keeping files organized section, so I thought I'd ask him. Both very neatly and very untidy. Generally, every type of content I've worked on has its own dedicated folder in my video editing folder. So Slazo, MK, Hex Lenovo, Hex Herald Sun, my own stuff, that sort of thing. Then in those folders is the project itself. So in like Slazo folder would be a folder named Bad Boyfriend TikTok or whatever. Then in that folder is another folder that will house the project file and all the face cam footage and the clean audio. Back in the Bad Boyfriend TikTok folder will be all the images, music, sound effects, and the like that get used in the video, if that makes sense. If you aren't an editor, it might be a little confusing unless you're a visual learner, and that's a very good visual description. Thank you, Bradley. If you are an editor, you know exactly what he's talking about because you also organize your files somewhat, and if you don't, what are you doing? Thank you, Bradley, for the answer, by the way. Shelfman asks, what do you like to eat when you edit your videos? I asked my lovely friend of like almost 2 years now, Chloe, also known as Shmoo, also known as Chloe's Little Life. She is a Twitch streamer and also a YouTuber. And I decided to ask her about this because she's editing like constantly. She has to have snacks when she's editing. That's like a priority. Chloe said, I like to eat goldfish or ramen when I'm editing since it's quick and easy. I agree. Thank you, Chloe. This question is from Armando, and he wanted to ask, how do you handle people pressuring you into a schedule? For this question, I wanted to ask somebody with a decently sized audience who I know gets a lot of pressure put on him for like video schedules and the podcast stuff and things like that. And honestly, overall, I was pretty curious about it. So, here's Swagger's answer. It's too tiny, he wrote really small. I set my own schedule and my own deadlines I try to meet, but it gets frustrating when people aren't satisfied with it when I'm already barely making them. It's a lot of unwanted pressure to have to get content out weekly and have people still say that I'm not consistent. It's often very frustrating. I would like to say here, treat your content creators and the people that you watch and the people that you support with respect. Thank you, Swagger, by the way, for that answer. I really appreciate it. Kimmy Shelf Citizen on Discord asked, what makes you want to make videos and stream? For this, I reached out to Hoty Gaming, who is a wonderful content creator on YouTube. He makes Siege videos, mostly. What pushes me is making people that feel like they have nothing in their life that makes them happy. I've been in positions where I have been really down, and at times the only thing that puts a smile on my face is other people's content. And I want to be that person for others. And when I hear of people having anxiety like me, I want to help them. I want to show them that you can overcome your own anxiety, that it does not have to destroy you. I just want people to smile. That's one thing. A smile can change someone's day, week, month, year, or even life. Hoty, that was a very wholesome answer. I gotta give you that. Thank you. I appreciate it. Tiny ad break, tiny ad break, tiny ad break, tiny ad break. Tiny ad break, you say. Use code LEE for 10% off for your purchase at gamersups.gg. They have so many flavors, starter kits, merch, anything you want. Honestly, great energy. I'll go into that in a different video though. I wasn't paid to say that. I have a code, so I'm gonna flex it. This question is from Cloaked. Where do you draw your inspiration from? Now, I originally messaged this to Crewy, or James, thinking that he would answer it after his stream, but being the energetic man that he is, he kind of answered it live on stream. So, here's James.
Okay, I need to figure out an answer to this. Where do I draw inspiration from? Nowhere. I think I have a really weird.
I remember when I hit 100 touches.
I can't skip this either. Okay, so
I've been playing Fall Guys. I almost won 5 times.
God damn it! Every time I go to answer, somebody's going to TCS. But no, inspiration is something that comes and goes. Inspiration is something that comes and goes. So I believe that sort of discipline takes over inspiration at a certain stage. Like you can only be inspired so much, and then your own sort of belief in yourself and discipline have to take over. Inspiration is sort of a sporadic thing. Like you can find inspiration and you'll be inspired for like 2 days. And then after that, it's gone. But with your own sort of self-drive and self-motivation, you can push yourself a lot further if you kind of, find inspiration by yourself. Progress is addicting. That's the biggest thing in the world. Progress is addicting. So as soon as you start seeing differences and like progress in something, you're going to put a lot more time and effort into it. 100%. Your mum is my inspiration. Okay, you're a bunch of idiots. You're a bunch of idiots. We've done the hard bit. Now you can, God damn it.
Thank you, James. Backstory for the next one. I asked my friend GwenMelon, if she could answer this question for me, and it was right after she had her surgery, so she still was a bit high on meds. So I'm leaving in the parts that she agreed with afterwards, after she wasn't on any medication anymore and all feeling better. The question is from Shane. It says, is there anything you wish was different about the content creation scene? A lot of content creators have big egos and there's so many messed up ethics, and honestly it reminds me of high school sometimes. But I mean, there's no real changing that, but there's just so many people with huge platforms because they put on an act. Also, there's still so much unwarranted hate for just chatting streamers for ruining the gaming platform, from viewers and streamers in general. Audrey asked, would you rather put out a bunch of content or pool resources and sponsorships for a bigger project, and why? To answer this question, I had to pick somebody who I know has done both push out content and also pool resources to make a longer thing. And I know that he prefers one or the other, so I wanted a definite response from him because it would make it much easier to explain all of it. Clicky Crisp replied, pool resources without a doubt. For the personal side of things, it allows the perfectionist in me to come out, spend more time working on my project and myself along the way with more free time or headspace. For the public side of things, I prefer to be known for quality over quantity. Success has different meanings for everyone, but for me it means to know that my project was seen to the end with no other motives like money or pleasing someone else. I can be sure it was something I wanted to make for myself. Thank you, Clicky, by the way. I appreciate it. Like, I just want to put this out there, by the way. Clicky is one of the most down-to-earth, sweetest people that I know. Like, he's so kind. He's so nice. Kalo asked, when you get an offer from a sponsor, what's the best way to say no without sounding ungrateful? For this question, I decided that I would ask Bordie, who's a really sweet human being, what her take on it was, and this is what she said. I don't think it necessarily sounding ungrateful. I think it more depends if you want to actually work with that company or not. If If the requirements don't match your channel, then you shouldn't feel guilty for declining the offer. I also don't deal with my sponsorships. Also, my manager does that, so kind of tough question, but that's more my thoughts. People come to you to advertise their product through your company image, so if you're not comfortable with doing something, no matter how much the money, you should never feel guilty or ungrateful for saying no. Now for the final question that I know is going to be asked in the comments or in my DMs. How do I get to know a content creator personally? Number 1, be polite. If they don't answer their DMs or they don't respond, they could be busy. They could have their DMs closed, and they also reserve the right to just not answer any DMs that they get. 2, they are normal people, so treat them as such. A following does not determine whether another human is above another human. We're all equal. Number 3, the most common one that happens all the time. Don't ask their friends to pass messages. Their friends are not the messenger. If you want to talk to them, you message them themselves. You post under their Twitter, you post under their Instagram. Don't ask people to be your messenger for somebody that you would rather talk to, because that's just rude. And we're not going to do it. No one's going to do it. Remember to be kind, support them, and don't force a friendship. I wanted to say thank you to everyone who took part in this video, the people who asked questions, the people who answered, my friends. I love you all, thank you. Everyone who answered a question, my friends, will be linked down below, so you can go check them out. I highly recommend it. There are some really good content creators, and I highly appreciate every single one of them. If you would like to, subscribe. I promise I'll be posting more Jack content. I mean, that's what you all are here for, right? It's not me, it's Jack. Jack runs the channel. Just look at him. See that face? It's too cute.